Hello students. In this class, I am going to tell you the concepts of work, energy and power. So this is the 11th standard lesson. And first of all, I would like to tell you what is work. In our daily life, we are going to do so many works. That means reading, writing, walking, etc., etc. But can they called work? In physics terminology, there is a different definition for work done here. So work done can be defined as when force acting on a body causes displacement, then the work is said to be done. That means there must be some force acting on the body and should cause some displacement. So this will give you what is some work done, and work done can be written as W equal to, we can write as F bar dot S bar, which will give us Fs cos theta. So indicates that W is a scalar. W is a scalar and its a SI unit is here. SI unit of the work done is here, joule. And 1 joule equal to, we can write 1 Newton into 1 meter. That is, we can write Newton meter here. So this is the basic definition of work done. Then here, how many types of work? Because the work done depends on the force, the displacement, and angle between them. We are going to have different situations where work done, how they can be calculated. So first of all, a body of a mass m falls freely under the gravitational force F from height h. So in this case, the gravitational force is downward, the displacement is also downward, therefore theta equal to 0. So W you are going to get as Fh, which is positive. That means work done in this case is positive here. Now it's the same case if a body is projected upward, body of mass m projected upward to a height h, the gravitational force acts downward, displacement is upward. Here theta is 180 degrees and you know cos 180 is minus 1. So therefore W equal to, you are going to get minus Fh, indicating that work is negative here. That means here what we got here, the work done can be positive, work done can be negative. And what about work done in the case of the friction? So work done by friction, for example, for kinetic friction. Kinetic friction means normally when a body goes forward, the frictional force, kinetic friction acts in the backward direction. That means if this is the direction of displacement, the kinetic friction will be in opposite direction. So work done will be negative in this case. Second one, static friction. So for this, I am going to take you one example here. Two blocks placed one over the other. This is A, for example, this is B, and this A is pulled by force F. So because what happens here, so the body will try to go in this direction, the displacement will be in this direction, the frictional force will be in this direction. So both are in the same direction. Therefore, the work done can be here, positive here. Okay, so work done is negative in the case of kinetic friction, positive in the case of static friction. And for example, if your body is at rest, what happens here? Even if you apply some force, the frictional force is there, static frictional force. So here displacement is zero, therefore work done can be zero. That means what we can infer here, work done can be positive, work done can be negative, and even work done can be zero also. So depending on the angle theta and also the value of S here, we are going to have what here work done values in different cases like this here. Moreover, so if theta equal to 0, work done is maximum, theta 180, negative, theta S0, work done is 0. And another case is there where the force and displacement are in opposite direction here. That means, look at the situation where a porter, I'm going to take a porter carrying some load on his head and walking in the forward direction. This is the displacement. and the weight of that block acts the downward direction, the angle between them is 90 degrees. So according to definition, work done equal to, we can write Fs cos 90. Cos 90 is 0, so you are going to get work done can be 0 here. Means work done can be positive, negative depending on theta, and also 0 when theta equal to 90 degrees. That means in this case, the porter, the work done by gravity against work done against gravity is 0. Work done against gravity is 0, but the porter has done some work against friction, and that is not going to be 0, because while walking on the ground it is very easy, but if you walk with some load on your head, it's not easy. That means if you are feeling difficult in walking, means what does it mean here? There is friction is increased here. Here also, when the porter keeps some weight on his head, the friction increased here, and he has done some work against frictional force, but work done against gravitational force is 0. Okay, so another situation where we can calculate this one is here. For example, this is a block of mass m whose weight acts vertically downward here, but doesn't matter, it is cancelled by the normal reaction n. So I'm applying a force F here. What happens here? The block also moves in the same direction. So therefore the work done equal to, we can write as theta 0 and cos 0 equal to 1, W equal to, we get here simply Fs here. And in some cases, what happens here? The force is not horizontal here. Let us consider the force is applied like this and the block goes like this here. Theta is the angle between them. Then the component of F along S is, we can take as F cos theta, and W equal to, we can write as F cos theta into S, we can write, which is nothing but our definition of work done, that is Fs cos theta here. That means the theta plays very important role here, and if theta is 90, we are going to get a work done is 0 here. For example, if the force acting on this block is like this, if the force acting is like this, and can you expect a displacement in horizontal direction here? Never, because the force acting upward, you never expect a displacement in a horizontal direction, because theta 90 work done can be 0 in this case here. Okay, so this is another case where we can calculate work done. And the next one is here. For example, this is the position of horizon here. A particle has position R1 and move to another position R2 here. This is the displacement here. Yes, R1 bar, and this is R2 bar. And S bar equal to, I can write as R2 bar minus R1 bar, which can be indicated as here. S bar equal to, I can write Xi plus Yj plus Zk, and F equal to, we can write as F bar equal to Fxi plus Fyj plus Fzk. Then work done, because it is a dot product of the two vectors here, we are going to get W equal to, you can get like this, Fxx plus Fyy plus Fzz. So in this way, we can calculate the work done formula here in the case of the vector notation. Okay, so this is the work done in different cases here, right? Now let us move on to in some other cases where we can calculate the work done here. So to calculate work done, different formulas we are going to deduce here, deductions I am going to take here. Calculation of work done. First one, a block of weight mg is taken to height h against gravity here. Against gravity here. So what is the work done? So work done, because the force is mg here, displacement is h here. So therefore I can write, so and theta equal to how much here? 180 degrees here. Fs cos 180 we are going to get W equal to minus mgh. So just if you want the magnitude of work done, you can neglect this one. The minus sign indicates only that it is done against the gravitational force of attraction here. Okay. Now, second, we are going to take some cases where we take a uniform mass distribution bodies here. That means in the case of uniform bodies, how do you calculate the work done? So work done means what we need here. We need two quantities here, three quantities here. One is a force, second one is displacement, the third one is what here? The angle between the force and displacement. So in some cases, like in uniform mass distributions, we are going to see the body is not going to be a point mass or body is not going to be some regular shape. So if it is distributed having some vertical or horizontal directions here, in such cases, how do you calculate the center displacement here? Remember, the displacement value in such cases can be taken as what here? The shift in position of center of mass. That means from initial to final positions, how much displacement occurred for the center of mass is taken as the displacement of the center of mass here. So let me take some examples so that you can understand how this can be understood here. First one, second one, I'm going to take here ladder, uniform ladder. So this uniform ladder of mass m and length is L here. Its length is L here and mass is M. It is lying horizontally on the ground. Now it is made erected straight. That means it is kept like this. So now again this L is like this. Mass is there. So weight acts vertically downward. But here, what is the displacement? To calculate the displacement here, what is here actually the center of mass will be where here? Center of mass will be on the ground, which is at L by 2. Even in the vertical position also, the center of mass will be at L by 2 only. But what is the shift that is occurred from ground to what height it has gone here? It has gone a height of L by 2. The center of mass has been shifted by an amount L by 2. And the weight acts as usual, it is vertically downward. So we can write F equal to mg and S equal to L by 2. So therefore, work done equal to we can write as mg L by 2. So work done in the case of uniform ladder is what here? W equal to mg L by 2 here. So this is the work done in the case of uniform ladder. Now taking into another one, uniform chain. Uniform chain means again the mass distribution is uniform here. A chain of length, for example, L and mass M. This is a mass M and a length L, right? Now it is hanging vertically. Its center of mass will be L by 2. So the free end of this chain is made to make coincide with the fixed end so that it becomes like a garland. So in doing so, what is the work done here? So actually the center of mass is where here the center of mass is at L by 2. Now the center of mass has been shifted to how much here? This length becomes total length becomes L by 2 and center of mass will be at L by 4. So what is S value here? S value equal to we can write as L by 2 minus L by 4 becomes L by 4 here. That means the weight is mg here, that is F equal to mg, the weight acts vertically downward. So work done will be in this case is mg L by 4. So this is the work done in the case of uniform chain in which the free end is brought to coincide with the fixed end to become like a garland. This is the third one. Moving on to the fourth one here. For example, chain on table. For example, this is a table edge here. A uniform chain is placed on this one such that 1 by nth of the length is hanging from the edge of the table. 1 by nth means what is a mass hanging here? L by nth is hanging. What is a mass hanging here? Mass becomes what here? M by n. Where is the center of mass of this one? The center of mass will be L by 2n here. So if you pull it back so that the total chain comes onto the table, what is the work done? So here, what is the amount of mass that is undergoing displacement? M by n. How much the center of mass has been shifted? L by 2n. So here, the force that is a weight is mg by n and displacement is L by 2n. So therefore, the work done will be, we can write as what here? mg L by 2n square. mgl by 2n square is the work done in the case of what here? Chain on table. Okay, so this is for uniform chain on the table, and if you pull it back with no friction on this one, consider it a smooth table, and we pull it backward so that the work done is mgl by 2n square. Now coming to the next part here, uniform rod. So uniform rod means here, for example, this is a uniform rod here of length L and mass M, whose weight acts vertically downward here. It is slightly displaced about its fixed point here. It is displaced from its fixed point, making an angle theta. So what is the work done? So to calculate work done, we need to calculate first of all how much height it is shifted. This is the height to which it is shifted here. This is L here. So to calculate a height here, so this is a one triangle we can take here. So this length becomes what here? L minus h here. This remaining length becomes what here? L minus h, because total length is L. This is h gone. So L minus h, this is L. So in this one, cos theta equal to, we can write adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is L minus h by L. Okay, cross multiplication, L minus h equal to L cos theta, and h equal to, if you write here, this comes this side, L of 1 minus cos theta. This is the height to which the rod has been moved here. But we want only the shift in position of center of mass, which is generally half of the display h here. So s equal to, we can write h by 2, which is L by 2 of 1 minus cos theta. So therefore, work done formula in this case becomes what here? Mg, yes, is the formula. So Mg is there. I can write Mg of Mg by 2 of 1 minus cos theta. Mgl by 2 of 1 minus cos theta is a work done in the case of the uniform rod. The same we can apply for a simple pendulum also. Simple pendulum also, in the similar manner we can calculate. This is not a uniform mass. Okay, here h value again we are going to get L of 1 minus cos theta. But what is the difference here? In the case of simple pendulum, the total mass is concentrated only at this sphere. Because of this one, what happens here? The mass is shifted from here to here. There is no question of center of mass here. The total mass, which is including center of mass, are shifted by an amount h. So therefore, work done in the case of the simple pendulum, it is shifted to an angle theta with vertical is given by W equal to mgl of 1 minus cos theta. And this also becomes what here? The expression for potential energy of the simple pendulum when it makes an angle theta with vertical. You can keep remember in this mind here, the potential energy of the simple pendulum at any angle theta is also equal to mgl of 1 minus cos theta here. So these are the some of the expression that we can use to calculate the work done in the case of some different situations and also different formulas we are using it. But the basic formula is W equal to Fs cos theta that is applied here to get different expressions here. Okay, so you can pause the video at any condition at any stage to copy this formulas here. Okay, so then we are going to move into the next topic here. Work done by spring. So before going to work done by spring, we should know something about the spring. Generally, every spring will have what here. So two ends here, one end will be fixed at the other end. If you apply some weight or if you connect some load, it undergoes some elongation here. So this elongation generally depends on what here, how much load you applied here. So therefore, what we can write here, so the F is directly proportional to X. That means more weight if you suspend, more elongation you are going to occur here. F proportional to X and F equal to we can write as Kx here. The constant K is called as here force constant or spring constant here. And moreover it is also called as stiffness constant also. K is also called stiffness constant. Why? Because a lengthy spring has less spring constant than a short spring here. That means if a spring has constant K, if it is cut into two equal parts, its spring constant each one becomes here 2K here. That will be doubled here. That means as you go on decreasing the length here, the spring constant will be increased. Means it becomes more stiffer and stiffer as the length decreases here. Okay, so this is the formula of this one, and K has SI unit body here. K formula we can write F by X here, and its SI unit is Newton per meter here. Okay, so this is about the spring and spring constant here. Now, what about the work done case here? To understand the work done in this one, we are going to take up here a situation where now the spring is there whose constant is K I'm taking. It is acted upon by an external force F right side direction. So it undergoes a displacement X here. But if you remove the force F, what happens here? The spring will come back to its normal position. Means the restoring force of the spring will make the spring to come back to its normal position. So the spring force is acting in this direction. This is the external force acting on the right side direction. So now you can see the displacement is in the right direction here. Applied force is in the right direction. Spring force is in the left side direction here. So we are going to write work done. Work done by spring. First of all, I will write work done by spring force. You can see the work and work done, the force and displacement, they are opposite here. Fs and x cos 180, you are going to get as minus Fs x I can write. Similarly, if you write work done by the force, external force, this comes out to be here. You can see F external x cos 0 because both are in the same direction. I'm going to get like this here. That means work done by spring and work done by external force, they are not in the same direction. Because of that one, work done can be taken as what here? One is positive, another one is negative here. Now, suppose what is a expression for work done in the form of K we are going to take up. That means, for example, You know F equal to, we can write Kx here. This is a spring. A force F is applied for a small displacement dx. What is the work done? Work done can be written as what here? F dx we can write for a small work done. But to extend from x1 to x2, what is the work done? So W equal to, we can write integration f dx x1 to x2 here. F means kx, I can write x1 to x2 kx dx. On integration we are going to get a k of x square by 2 x1 to x2 here. So we are going to get k by 2 of x2 square minus x1 square. If x1 equal to 0 and x2 equal to x, we get w equal to half kx square. So this is the work done in the case of a spring here. Work done by external force on the spring here, not by the spring here. Work done by the external force is given by W equal to half kx square here. Okay. So this is about the work done here. Everything, because the lesson is what here about the work, energy and power. So now we completed total about the work done here. Now moving on to the next one, that is energy. So in the energy we talk about especially the mechanical energies here, that is potential energy and kinetic energy, both are combinedly called as here mechanical energy. Here first of all I am going to take up kinetic energy here. Kinetic energy expression. Let us consider a body of mass m is moving with starts from rest, and with the application of force F, its velocity becomes v in time t with displacement s. Mass m starts from rest, a force F is applied for time t, so that velocity becomes v and displacement is s here. So now we are going to write the expression for work done here. So work done expression is what here? We are going to write like this here. W equal to F ds. W equal to F ds we are going to write. And F means what we can write here? MADS. MA means what here? Rate of change of velocity is called what here? This one. So we can write as what here? M of dv by dt of ds. Right? So this can also be written as what here? ds by dt of dv we can write. But ds by dt is what here? Rate of change of displacement is called what here? Velocity. So it becomes what here? mv dv. So on integration, what we are going to get here? So m comes out, v dv is there. We are going to get a v square by 2. So I can write w equal to 1 by 2 mv square. That is work done to move a body. Work done to move a body is going to convert as what here? Kinetic energy. So this is equal to kinetic energy. K equal to we can write half mv square. Remember, kinetic energy has only one expression, that is half mv square, in any lesson or any type of problems here. Though the potential energy, if you go different formulas in different lessons, different situations, but kinetic energy has only one formula, that is half mv square, wherever whatever may be the lesson here. Half mv square is the only formula for kinetic energy, and here k equal to half mv square, and its energy SI unit is here again joule here, and the relation between momentum and kinetic energy I can write momentum equal to, we can write P equal to mv. If you write K equal to, you are going to write here mv whole square by 2m. So you are going to get P square by 2m. That means the relation is K equal to P square by 2m, The another relation is what here? P equal to under root of 2mk. So this is a relation between potential energy or kinetic energy and momentum here. So this is about the kinetic energy here. Next, we will move on to potential energy here. Before going to potential energy, let us know about another one, that is work energy theorem. What it says here. The simple definition is here: work done by a constant force acting on a body is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Work done by a force, a constant force on a body is equal to change in its kinetic energy. That means I can write the statement as work done equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. That means W equal to half mv square minus half mu square. So this is the expression for work energy theorem. We can also prove this one simply. A body of mass m is moving with initial velocity u. So a force F is applied on it for a time t so that its velocity becomes v and displacement s. Mass m, initial velocity u, applied force F for a time t so that velocity becomes v, displacement s. Then what is displacement d? Acceleration here, acceleration equal to v minus u by t, we can write here. Okay, and displacement is what here? Displacement means average velocity into time here. Okay, so we are going to write here the work done formula. So work done equal to what we can write here? Force into displacement. Force means we can write MAS, right? So W equal to, we can write M means M only. A means we are going to write V minus U by T, and S means we can write as V plus U by 2 into T. This T cancel, V minus U into V plus U is V square minus U square. 2 comes out. We can write 1 by 2 M of V square minus U square, which turns out to be 1 by 2 mv square minus 1 by 2 mu square. So it is similar to the statement that is W equal to half mv square minus half mu square. Okay, so this is work energy theorem. So simply says that work done by a constant force on a body is equal to the change in its kinetic energy. In place of W, you can write Fs. You can write Fs so that you can calculate the braking force. For example, what do you mean by F here? Suppose if a vehicle is moving with certain velocity, brakes are applied so that it stops for after a distance, yes. Then what is the braking force? In such case, final kinetic energy will be zero. Initial kinetic energy is there. Fs equal to minus half mu square. You can calculate F, which is called as the braking force, and S is called as the stopping distance. So depending on the situation, we can use this formula to find the required quantities here. Okay, so this is work energy theorem. Then work done by a constant force here. Sir, conservative force. What do you mean by conservative force and non-conservative force? Now, in the case of work done, for example, look at here. A block is we are planning to move this block from here to here. So in number of ways we can move this block. Directly we can go like this, we can go like this, we can go like this also. That means in different ways we can take this block to this position. But whatever may be the path you follow, what we want here, the weight acts vertically downward, but the displacement means what here? The perpendicular distance between initial and final, which is going to be h only. That means whether you go straight up or go like this or go like this or in any path you go, the displacement is going to be h only. Then work done will be what here? W is equal to, we can write mgh. So whatever the path you follow, the work done against gravity turns out to be same. This indicates that what here? The work done is independent of path followed by the body here. So this type of force is normally termed as here conservative force here. And here, what is the conservative force here? The gravitational force. Gravitational force is a conservative force. Why? Because work done in the gravitational field is independent of path followed. Hence, gravitational force mg is called conservative force and gravitational field is called as conservative field. And as situation has come, if you know what is conservative force, you should also know what is meant by non-conservative force. So what is meant by non-conservative? Simply we can understand if it is not independent of path followed, that follows on the path followed. For example, for this is for a very big field is there. Here a black is there. You want to move this black to exactly opposite corner by dragging on the ground. You can straight go like this, or you can go like this, or you can go in some other path. But in which path, if you move from here to here, the effort of your effort is less here because you are pulling on the ground. You need to do less work if you go straight from here to here. But if you go from here to here, or if any other path if you choose, and the work done is going to be high. This is what here you are doing some work done against what here the friction. So as the path length increases, work done is increasing. Means the frictional force is not a conservative force and frictional field is not a conservative field here. So therefore what I can say, work done is, if it is in depends on the path followed, we call that as what here non-conservative force and the field is called as a non-conservative field here. So example, best example for non-conservative force is frictional force. The other example is viscous force. And we can take the corresponding fields as non-conservative fields here. So this is work done by conservative force here. Okay. Now let us write a expression for potential energy here. What do you mean by potential energy? Generally, the potential energy means it depends on what here the state, position, etc. We can say, but the exact definition of potential energy is different here. So the potential energy due to interaction between the particles of the submatter. That means the energy arises due to the interaction between the particles of the different particles of the body is called generally external potential energy, and also it has internal potential energy here. So we are going to take up both of them. What is internal potential energy or self energy here? The energy arises due to the interaction between the particles of itself is called here self energy or internal potential energy. And what about external potential energy? The energy arises due to the interaction between particles of the different bodies is called here external potential energy here, and total potential energy is always equal to ui plus ue. I can write that is a sum of the internal potential energy and external potential energy. And what is the relation between this potential energy and conservative force here? You know, whenever a body is shifted from one place to another place, what happens here? The position changes, the attraction changes here. So, for example, a black is taken from here to certain height here. So what we'll do here, in doing so, work is done here. So when work is done, the attraction between the earth and this block has been changed here. So here the attraction or the interaction is changed. Because of that one, the body gets certain energy which is called as what here, external potential energy. Here, because it is going away from this one, we can write W equal to minus delta U, that is work done is negative. This is a conservative field definition of potential energy. Potential energy versus what here, conservative field here. But you know, W equal to, we can write what here, we can write as F delta S or F delta X, I can write. So minus delta U implies what here, F equal to minus delta U by delta X. For if delta x tends to 0, I can write f equal to du by dx also. So this is expression for relation between conservative force and potential energy. F is a conservative force, that is gravitational force. U is what here? The potential energy. So this is expression between these two here. Okay. So one expression we got, that is a potential energy and also conservative force here. So let us take about some other formula here where we can get the formula, and that is mechanical, actual form that we are going to use in the case of problems here. So generally, if you take this one into consideration, so what happened here, work done equal to potential energy, I said here. So in this case, the potential energy formula comes out to be what here, mg and f, displacement is h. So we can write simply this as h, provided h is much less than the radius of the earth. U equal to mgh, provided h is much less than r. So this is expression for potential energy. Then mechanical energy or conservation of mechanical energy. What do you mean by conservation of mechanical energy? So here we are going to take up here the generally, the sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy is termed as mechanical energy here. So mechanical energy equal to kinetic energy plus what here? Potential energy. The sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy is termed as what here? Mechanical energy. And here we are going to take up the principle of conservation of mechanical energy here. So kinetic energy is what here? Kinetic energy is due to what here? It is arised due to conservative fields, non-conservative, as well as what here? Other work done here. So kinetic energy changes due to what here? Delta Ke equal to W conservative, W non-conservative, and W other. So these work done can change what here? Kinetic energy. And potential energy is caused by only conservative, that is minus, I'm writing delta u, I can write this is delta k, I'm writing here. So wc equal to delta u, I can write. So delta me or me, I'm writing as e here, e equal to k plus u. So delta m equal to delta e equal to, I can write, if you sum up what happens here, minus wc cancel, wnc and w other we are going to get here. And WNC means what here? It is non-conservative here. So non-conservative forces act in the body, and they have what here? WNC equal W. Because they are non-conservative means what happens here? The effect is zero. So what happens here? WNC equal to and W other equal to, that is internal, is going to be zero. So therefore, what happens here? Delta E equal to 0 or E equal to, we are going to get as constant. Means the mechanical energy of a body is going to be always constant in the case of the what here? Conservative field. Therefore, what we can say, in a conservative field, the total mechanical energy always remains constant. So because why WNC and W other 0? Because we are taking only the conservative field. So non-conservative work and other forms of work can be taken as 0. Therefore, we got E equal to constant. So what the principle says here? The principle says that in a conservative field, the sum of the total mechanical energy always remains constant, though the potential and kinetic energies varies. That means may kinetic energy increase or potential energy decrease, or potential energy increase or kinetic energy decrease, but always the total mechanical energy of the system remains constant in a conservative field. So this is about what here conservative field, and we are left with the power, and I'm going to take up the power in the next class. Thank you.